This is Scott Lindsay. He is currently manager of 22nd place Crawley Town in League 2. Guessing he wanted to move down south to go to Crawley, but here is the catch with Crawley. The Red Devils might not be happy with how they're going because they've had a rather weird move over the recent years. They've been taken over by technical geniuses, let's call them, WAGMI United. Preston Johnson is the CEO, and it's a company that makes millions. How do they do that, you ask? NFTs, stonks, basically. I don't really know myself. All I know is WAGMI United, we are gonna make it stands for, are actually a cryptocurrency-based management who haven't done well with Crawley, seen as they're near the relegation zone, and that's why today we take control of Scott Lindsay. We try and get them up to winning the Champions League and just give their fans a better experience to in real life. We start in League 2, of course, with 2.1 million as budget, very low expectations, which the board probably don't want. They'll have high expectations, but they aren't doing too cracking, so without further ado, we're going to take over Crawley. And if you didn't know the rules, 3 free signings a season, that's usually the second rule, with the first one being that we have to win the Champions League to complete this save. So without further delay, here we go. Scott Lindsay, I've changed the E from the A. He's ready to take over the League 2 club. Not going to go with the manager profile, going to go with a trophy cabinet and see how much we can add to it. Starting with looking at the youth, and no decent youth prospects at all. It's been the first time in a while. And we've shuffled the pack a little bit. The team doesn't look too bad at all. There's definitely improvements to be made. We've got last season's top scorer for Newport, Dom Telford up front, James Tilley, ex-Grimsby Town, Naddison's quite a decent player, and Schofield, the goalkeeper on loan from Huddersfield. Not working out in real life, but we need it to do here. What our objectives are, but the board's objectives are finishing mid-table and signing 2 crucial players is very low, 1 young player is very low, and 1 player younger than 20 is very low as well. And our first game of pre-season, as I struggle for transfers, is a 1-1 draw with Motherwell. Motherwell? She is, thanks. And I've changed the position of Matthew Herbert in this academy. He's gone to 65 rated. Get him in the team. Did not expect to be drawing to Werder Bremen in pre-season. Herbert with a goal. And our first game of the season. No transfers, just that 1 player from the academy as we take on Stevenage. I can't wait to see this one, but away from home as well. Travelling all the way up north. Don't say we've come all this way for nothing. It's Dom Telford with a ball over the top into James Tilley, the injury-prone man. Oh, almost. That was a close one as a ball whipped in there. Header away. A close chance as Elliot List onto the edge of the box. It's Stevenage playing it around with a shot and struggling for chances after that last one. Ball in the box off the crossbar from Sweeney and still not cleared. It was all around our penalty area, but now the ball is firmly on their penalty spot. 1 kick of the ball for Jack Rolls, ex-Cambridge United, and he scores the first goal of Scott Lindsay's reign. It's a substitute off our bench. Pretty sure he signed from Woking, a National League club. What a signing. And that wraps the game up as well. We start our career off here in League 2 with a brilliant 1-0 performance away from home. Oh, and a transfer offer, you know, for Matthew Herbert straight away. We've got no objective really on financial that's important. I'm going to keep Matthew here. And finally, a transfer, but it's not required, I think, any money at all. We've got rid of Jack Spong on a swap deal with Colchester, or it was a little bit, but Tom Dallison, the centre-back, joins, and if I'm not wrong, wasn't he a Crawley player before? I've played a lot of Football Manager, and I recognise that name in a Crawley shirt. Maybe he just went to that team on Football Manager, but that completes our team. A couple of decent ratings as well going into season number 1. I expect no promotion. I just expect a good fight and hopefully a bit of grit. And halfway through, the thing that stands out to me most is our next game in the FA Cup is away at Man United. It's the Red Devils against the Red Devils. We smashed Northampton on the run-up to this game. We beat Mansfield. We had to go through replays. As in League 2. We're top of the league. We're above Northampton, who we've just beaten 4-0. So that gives me confidence. The automatic spots are the top 3 in this division. So we're 6 points clear of Bradford amazing start. Can't say the same for my club, Grimsby Town, who sit 23rd. But honestly, couldn't be more proud of the boys. We are out of the Papa John's trophy. Mansfield beat us in that, but we don't care. Players are tired, but the ratings are also phenomenal. We've done really, really good. And we do have a youth player coming through as well, Ahmed. He's going to step onto the bench. We've got... Oh, mate, this squad is packed. I'm guessing Dom Telford scored the most goals, but we're not going to check just yet. We're going to keep on cooking. Being top of the league, I'm not going to just go for signings, as I am going to simulate Manchester United, though. Can we beat them? Come on. A 3-1 loss. James Tilley with our goal. As I think we'll only get players out. Rafiq Khalil, if we are going to be in this division or in the division above next year, what's the point in trying to sign more players this year? We'll sign better quality if we get a promotion. Ooh, but come the end of the year, the board have changed their opinion. WAGMI are giving Lindsay the thumbs down. Look at the ratings, though. We've got Schofield on 71, but Herbert's overpassed him to 72 now. Real question is, do we win the league? And you bet we do. We've won it. 3 points over Northampton and literally 7 points clear of Leyton Orient, who are top in real life. But Crawley Town, we made the trophy cabinet. Get the first trophy in there. The League 2 title. Season number 1 is a league-winning one. Absolutely phenomenal. Herbert, look at the goals he's got. 23 and 8 assists. 17-year-old Nadison with 21 and 5. Kwesi Appiah has done well out on loan at Colchester in this division. So it's good to have him back because Dom Telford struggled. 0 assists as well, the selfish man. As Gladwin's got 12. He's unselfish. As hopefully we can all be unselfish, score plenty of goals, and survive in League 1 next year. So, League 1, we've got 5 million blessed by the board to us. Come on, WAGMI, you've got more than that. Youth development is now low, and we need a low 5 games without defeat. They want a mid-table finish in this division, and an FA Cup round of 16, with financial stepped up. Okay, I see what they're doing. As why are they giving me them players to scout? Do you honestly think we're bringing Haaland to Crawley? At the end of last season, however, we got a good player in the academy, in Felix Cunningham. Only problem is he's the same position as Herbert, but maybe we could sell one at one point. And we're not messing around at all this season. We've signed a defender, Lewis Freestone. I think he plays for Cheltenham, but he was at Barrow here. And he looks like he can grow in our squad. And a huge player in a youngster joining from Birmingham City. And no, it's not Joe Bellingham, it's Jordan James. He's cost us 1.3 million, a lot to spend, but we do have weirdly rich owners who have probably just thrown cash at us. Makes me feel better about this squad. The only position now we have to go for is goalkeeper. As we finally utilise the free agents, Awerda Edwards joins from his release at Bristol City, and another huge free agent in Fankati Dabo on his release, I think from Coventry. And we'll end the free agents off here with the final one being Jordan Smith, a goalkeeper, because Schofield made the turn to Schalke. He was released. I tried to snap him up. It didn't work out. Smith was just signed crucially before our first game of the season, which is a draw to Bolton. Not bad. Not bad to draw our first game, as I will see you all halfway through this season. We have got a thumbs up as, Crystal Palace in the cup. We keep getting Prem teams. We're in the relegation zone in 23rd. I thought we built this team up. Apparently not. Right, survival is our specialty though. I love a survival battle, and that's what we've got to try and compete in. Herbert is very unhappy in the attacking midfield role. Rightly so. We definitely need more signings. The striker position. Is that where we're going wrong? A lot of unhappy faces, and yes, Dom Telford's only got 7 goals, Appiah with 4. I think we spend... How much have we actually got in the budget? We've got 2 million, all going towards forwards. We've lost ex-Grimsby man James Tilley to Luton Town for 1.3 million. However, we kind of swap him out because we've signed a player for the same price, plus 400 extra thousand. WAGMI forked out on Isaac Davis from Cardiff City. What a signing, coming across on a bit of a travel, but he hopefully is worth it. And also in a big deal, Felix Cunningham, or Cunningham's gone to Paderborn for 2.6 million. Could that get a defender in to keep some clean sheets? And a little youngster goes out in Aaron John to get experience at Drogheda. And we get rid of Gordon, our ex-right wing back, because Daco's in. And he's going for £1 million to Sion. So, gives us money to get a panic signing in. And also Ludwig Francelit leaves the club. He's got Freeston and another centre-back coming in. Morgan Feeney is through the door from Carlisle United, who failed to get promoted with us. So steal their main centre-back. It's sensational how bad it is. But we're going to kick on with Crawley, and we're hopefully going to get out of that relegation zone, please. And come the end, is the survival on, because we've got a thumbs up with all them signings that we made. We did it. How did we pull that off? Survival in League One. I wanted more. It's not a lie, is it? Because I really wanted to be pushing, actually, this season. But 20 points off bottom. Forest Green have had a shocker. There is some games actually still to be played, including Burton. So we could have just survived. Going up is Reading, Sunderland, and one of those teams in the playoff. How did we do in the FA Cup? I'm guessing it wasn't the round of 16. Southampton were in the final. We lost 3-1 to Palace in round 3. Papa John's is won by Portsmouth. Oh my day. Oh, I was thinking of the Carabao Cup. Never mind, it's not a big surprise. How much of an impact did our new players play, though? The goal-wise, Herbert and Addison, actually. I mean, Davies did have an impact. Not much. Telford's still having a big one, but it's a good job we brought him in. He will progress. Addison, the Crawley-born man, is brilliant, and Herbert the same. But I think we'll lose him next year. Why would he want to be in a relegation battle with Crawley? Gladwin, the captain, doing very well. Edwards as well. But it is a season to build up on big time. This season has started off with outgoings. I think we lost Mason and Ogbene, the fullbacks. We didn't really need them, and it adds to the budget of 5 million once more. We've spent a little bit too much money in the last 2 seasons. I wouldn't like to spend that much, although they want automatic promotion. They want 2 crucial players again. It's always the same objectives, WAGMI. Team looks really nice apart from the injury to Tessara, and Mason is actually still here. Why is he not leaving? There we go. Ogungbo has left, but you can see there's a huge signing coming into the club. Here he is. Johnson Clark-Harris as frees go. He is one we just could not pass up on. It's bad for Dom Telford dropping out, but Clark-Harris, even though we've just signed Davies for money, is a proven League One goal scorer. And a huge signing for the centre of the park in a free agent, which is Andre Dozzle from QPR. He's staying down south, and he's joining Crawley. We've got one more free signing spot left if we want to use it, but we're spending money on a player going down in the ranks at Ipswich Town. It's George Edmondson. As look how much better this team looks already. Safe to say, we've had no bids for Herbert, so we might keep him. As there goes Jack Rolls as well, scored that first penalty in our first game. Alongside an academy player in a long pre-season this, Hugo Freeman, 66 rated, 17-year-old, getting my defence. We just get off to a good start against Bristol Rovers. Oh, 4 goals scored. Don't care about Marquis' goal and Clark's, because we've got Clark-Harris, and we've utilised our final free signing. Connor Mahoney was released from Huddersfield as a winger, and they will be the only signings for this season number 3. First half, the team. Oh my days, it's very tired from skipping a couple of games, but we're going to sit them down and get used to playing. Are we in that promotion push? Oh, you bet we are. 3rd in the league with 3 defeats. That's a lot better than the fight for relegation. It's basically turned the league table on its head a little bit. As at the bottom, Bradford, Colchester, Morecambe, Exeter. We're well clear. Still double checking. Still in the FA Cup as well into round 3 against Sunderland. Got a good reputation in that. Carabao we made round 3 as well. Lost to Crystal Palace again. And we're still in the Papa John's against Accrington. A trophy I really want to win, actually. Don't know why. This team as well, it looks superb. I mean, Clark-Harris must be banging goals in. Herbert's still here, 81 rated. I've got a feeling we may lose him this window, and Freeman, the youngster I've put in at left back, is going to be our new left back. It's sorted. And we lose a player out on a loan deal. Not one coming in. Ibrahim Lees does leave for now, and that is the only bit of business. So, I'll either see you in the playoffs or see you in the championship. Fingers tightly crossed anyway. The best welcome to any end of the season. A Manager of the Month award. Please say we managed it. Yes! Championship football with Crawley Town. That is league-winning form, but Sunderland absolutely tearing up the division. We were 7 points clear of Barnsley. And up the leagues we go. Scott Lindsay, get another, well, it's not a trophy, it's just a promotion, but I'll put it in the cabinet anyway, just so it looks nice. I mean, to be fair, already more full than Tottenham's. We know what happened in the FA Cup, which Man United won, and they lost the final to Forest in the Carabao. We went out to Crystal Palace in that, if I do remember. Papa John's. Oh, Shrewsbury beat Sunderland, the on-fire team. Sunderland beat us in the semis. How unlucky was that for us? I mean, could have had his hands on another trophy. We've got some good youth here. I've just seen it. Tommy Marks get promoted. Patrick Swift promoted. Billy Barlow and Cooper. Let's go for it. The class of 2024. It's actually 2025, as Clark Harris will probably need a new contract. Need to go over here to look at that. I know Gladwin leaves, the legend. And this is us signing Clark Harris up for an extra year. I think he's just got 1 season left in him. Will the stats prove me wrong? However, they kind of do. He scored a lot of goals, 24. Herbert, number 1, though. 83 rated now at 20 with 26 goals, 10 assists. Naddison keeps putting his toe into it and getting quite a few. Dozzle the same. And Edwards and Mahoney did equally as well. Dabo doing well. I think the team shows a little bit of promise for the championship, but we're going to have to go far to actually stay in that division. It'll be a bigger fight than it was to stay in League One last year. It's only took us 4 seasons to get to where we are now. Championship football with Crawley Town. The board aren't very confident in us. WAGMI get on board as they've got us to win 10 games away from home. They want a mid-table finish in the championship. One crucial player and a lot of profit with some youth development. Of course, I don't want to overspend in our team. Looks very good, and we do have Herbert, who we could sell at any time to make a buttload of cash. A lot of players in our squad as well. 66 rated. Allison's quite good, and I was contemplating 5 at the back, but I think we'll be okay. And I think it's a season of loaning out players to get better for the future. Toby Kemp is where we start. Also going out is Tommy Marks, as we have a big midfielder joining the club as well, who I will hope, whatever, really just gets us mid-table. He played for Bournemouth down south. He's staying down south. From Brazil, internationals, Ben Pearson comes across. And we're finally going out of Europe with this next signing. Scott Lindsay spent some money on Mateus Espinosa from Al Nassr. He's gone from playing with Ronaldo to playing with the next better Ronaldo, Herbert. I did say Freeman would be our starting left back, but with the ratings in the championship, maybe not take that risk. This is how the team looks. I don't know. I do trust it to go into the first half of the season with, but I'm going to keep my eye out. And we're going to start off our championship campaign with Wigan. The 2 boys are going to start this game, the new signings that is. Can Johnson Clark Harris do it? No. We lose to Wigan Athletic. Still, plenty of games left. And a big bid in for Matthew Herbert here from Ajax. We always lose as really special players. I don't want to lose him. As we basically traded to Sarula to Al Nassr, we've actually just got half of his money back for Matty. It's Matthias. That's his nickname, apparently. And we've sold Toby Amol for some money from Kalmar. And Leeds will be after revenge for the FA Cup game a while back, and they get it. Same result that Crawley actually beat Leeds by in the FA Cup. I'd say it was under Bielsa a couple of years ago. And we have our final player, I think it might be. It's Albi Brooks, not Alfie Brooks, Albi. He's 20-year-old. He's 71 rated, so he looks very good for the future. Our team is very tired, as I'm going to put Brooks on the bench for now. Look at that. Run down, but hopefully not out. Come on, give this championship a good shot. And I like to take a look at the ratings before the league position. The ratings are decent. There's some gone up, like Dozzle, Herbert, Clark Harris still, and Dabo. Come on, where are we? Are we decent? Ooh, 11th in the championship. 10 wins, 10 losses, 7 draws. That is phenomenal. We are so far above what is the relegation, 20 points Luton, and we're on 37. We're only 10 points off the playoffs. I'm not dreaming too much, but just get up there a bit. And we do have a player not wanting to play for us anymore. Jordan James, since Ben Pearson's come in. I guess we'll let that decent youngster go. And we lose Ramide Ote, one of the OGs, as I'm looking to get one more signing in. And here he is walking in to the training ground. The only signing we will make, Diego Alejandro Gomez, the Paraguayan from Wolfsberger, for almost 4 million. A lot spent on this man, but he's 22-year-old with bags of potential. Okay, so we didn't push on. We actually finished 14th, which is okay. I'll say okay. Survival in this league is astonishing for Scott Lindsay. He's done it with ease. WAGMI will be praised for this one. Never mind. Just scrutinised. We lost quite a few games still. As Arsenal won the cup, we were out early on, it seems. Carabao was won by Chelsea against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I was just about to check the Papa Johns, but we're no longer in that competition. Seems that we'll be only losing Brandon Mason because he doesn't want to sign another contract, as top scorer was Clark Harris with 10, and Nadison, he's unstoppable. He's just going with the ratings all the way up to the championship, and he has been here from day one, and he's been on the bench about almost half the games Clark Harris played, but just an instant equal impact. Yeah, Herbert's played well. He's up to 85. May lose him. Dozzle's played superbly, but the standout men are up there for me. We've got two Paraguayans in the team. We just noticed Gomez and Espinoza building a Paraguayan just branch to this team, as we need to brandish further next year to the Premier League if we can. So do Crawley expect promotion? They definitely do. Automatics thereafter. They want to increase the club's worth. That may be Herbert going, then get academy players signed and one player born in Europe. How much money are they giving us? 11. It's decent, but is that promotion money? Seeing as all the teams that go up are parachute payments or huge takeovers. And we finally do sign a player in this next season, because, to be fair, going down the youth path more than I thought. We've signed Mathieu Schmidt from France. He's come from, actually, I don't know what club it was, Altac over in Switzerland, if I'm not wrong. 20-year-old, 70 rated. And we are loaning out Ahmed to Las Palmas. And Ben Wells is leaving Crawley. Come on, to a good season this time. We haven't played a game in a while. Yes! Dabo. I love Dabo in this team. And Patrick Swift gets a loan to Ajaccio, with Sporting Lisbon putting 125 million up front for Herbert. But I don't think we're struggling with money at all. So he's going to stay here unless we need to sell him. And we're going to add two free agents here. The first one is Jamie Cumming, a new goalkeeper. Smith's been good, but Cumming's a bit younger. And alongside him is a big championship player in Ryan Giles, ex-Middlesbrough. He's coming down south because Crawley have the faith. And Dom Telford actually leaves the club finally, alone to Braga, but it has a buy option. I think Dom Telford leaving does end our simming for now, so I'll see you halfway through our playoff push. And that is always the best start, the Championship FA Manager of the Month award. And the team looks pretty good. Brooks is progressing perfectly because Clark Harris is on the down now. Ratings are decent. You can see it's a mishmash with Freeman now in centre-back again. Pearson in the defence and coming in goal. For a relatively changed around team, it's not too bad. Marks is now 70 rated. Might stick him on the bench. Davies is the same. Our youth, that class that we had last year, class of 2025, is perfect. They may even play in the Premier League because we're 5th in the table with 50 points. 8 off top spot Crystal Palace, who have beaten us a few times. And 2, only 2, of second place Blackburn Rovers. It makes me think that one more signing or 2 would do as well. You can see 7 million. Is something to go with. And even though WAGMI are based in America, they're going to South America for a lot of players. Paraguayans and now Washington Cardozo, the Colombian, who I think has played in the CONMEBOL. Now, I'm not up to date with my South American football, obviously. These players have been recommended by the scouts, so apologies if I've got names wrong, competitions, but he will go in the team for now. I'll swap him. Oh, it looks like Nadison's finally got a step out. Yeah, and I think that one signing of Cardozo will do us to get into the Premier League. And huge thumbs down. Huge thumbs down. Leicester won the FA Cup, but we are in the playoffs. We could still get promoted. I know they did ask for automatics, but it's Watford Blackburn who dropped out. Us and Norwich City. Where did we actually finish? We finished 4th. Oh, I guess they're a little bit angry with 16 points off Bournemouth. Like I said, FA Cup was won by Leicester as we went out to Newcastle in round 4. And the Carabao was ultimately won by Liverpool. Not going to count up the goals. I'm just going to go straight into this semi-final against Norwich City. Can Herbert carry us through? It is a draw in the first leg. Come on, lads. We have to reach the final here against Norwich City, and we do. Penalties takes us to Wembley Stadium against either Blackburn or Watford. This job is not done. So without further ado, we have Watford, a close-by team in the Championship playoff final, which we've got to win to get to the promised land. Everything this season has led up to this. Wembley Stadium, our first time here. Let's go for it. I also really don't want penalties as Watford's quick pass in. Oh, puts it wide. Very close opportunity as here's Andre Dozzle. Dozzle around the corner into Herbert. Let's go for that gap. Okay, this is good football. Brooks in the middle. That is poor. 42 minutes on the clock. Here's Connor Maloney, who we got from Huddersfield. Good ball onto Brooks. What a save. Come on, Reds. That's a good ball from James, I think. Almost onto our captain's head. Header back in the area, but it's still going for Watford. Looks like we may take extra time if we can defend them late on here. Gomez in the way, and it is extra time. A free kick for Watford. Colido. Very poor shot, and look at the run that Bayo has through here. We need to try and catch back up with him. Shot at coming. We may have to go... We don't go to penalties because we've got a penalty in the last minute. James, the man who was almost sold, is going to go. We've missed. And we're going to actually penalties. Why is James on penalties? He literally wanted to leave the club. This is how it's decided now, Brooks. I'm going to go the opposite way, of course. I don't trust him going there. It's saved. Gonna be in trouble if this goes in, which it does from Watford. We are still behind as Freeman down that middle. That's our centre-back. Gazdag! Yes! Level finally! Giles has to score, though. And we are going to be going to the top left and getting it saved. Not fair. Not fair at all. Bah! Oh my days. What a shootout. Right, the new signing... Careermode scores very, very closely, and it is down to Jamie Cumming against Liam Porteous, who scores. Sudden death, but Conor Mahoney did score his penalty. Down to Kalu, and it's saved by Jamie Cumming. Yes, he has done it for Crawley Town, and the keeper we signed at the start of the year sends us to the Premier League. It's safe to say I don't think James will be playing again for the club after that penalty miss. Oh my days. Put that trophy in the cabinet, a duplicate trophy, because it's basically the same one that we've already had. Just got red ribbons instead of the blue ones that are on ours in the cabinet. As there we go. Proctor off the bench. The youngster is the one to lift it, but we had to get the fresh legs on. And Crawley Town will be playing Premier League football. And we lost Dom Telford at that season. We'll take our pre-season, but to be fair, the board might sack us. We're on thin ice. Don't do a Scott Parker. We're not like Bournemouth. What have I got to try and do to keep my job within 2 seasons? Youth Academy. Sign 2 players from South America. Hey, that's easy. Avoid relegation is a fingers crossed and increase the worth. Now, Herbert, we've got to actually talk about him because is he gonna go? And this season, we're gifted 62 million for our Premier League thing. Now, I remember, I didn't go through the stats, which I'm ashamed of. I hope James didn't do well because he is leaving. The board want money, they can tell me to get rid of him. As Iñaki Rodriguez is our first signing. That was a bit of a jump scare, wasn't it? 20-year-old, 75 rated winger, because we don't have decent wingers. We just signed a decent player, as we've signed another one, Japanese winger in Takahiro Kunimoto, because of him being relatively cheap. Please don't sack us, though, because I don't get why we've got the crucial thing. Oh, I thought that was it. It's Herbert approached by Barcelona. You know, I'm going to delegate, and I'm just going to click... I'm going to click the button twice to see what happens. And they're actually not willing to pay over 150 more million. I know what I've said. But we're going to have to accept Barcelona. Herbert, very good luck to you, mate. We have got money, but we need to keep the board on board, literally, to keep our job. Because there's Toby Kemp going out on his usual loan again. And there he goes, Herbert. But you might see below, we've already got this replacement on board. Don't show us it. It's going to make me cry. Because we've signed Daniel Maldini. Now, what a signing for Crawley Town. Maldini's son, Daniel. You'll hear that name a lot more now. That puts us up to 190 million to spend. And I think 2 more signings before we start this season. This first one is a very decent one. Miguel Aziz from Bournemouth for 17 million as the graphic comes into the background. And Jordan James is finally out of the club here to Martimo to bring in money for our big signing, which is Ezri Konsa. There he is in the Crawley Town kit. Very fitting. Hopefully fitting into our Premier League defence. Still not fully convinced though that the business is done with them thumbs down. You know, there'll be a frown on how we play. My main thoughts, though, are how is the first game of the season gonna go? We beat Newcastle United, who have won a few trophies already. A TK were there too, but Brooks and Kunimoto. Safe to say, I didn't really expect that to happen. Think that warrants a new signing coming into the club, and this is in the goalkeeper position. We have another 83 overall player in Paul Lopez, signed from Olympique Marseille, over in France, and he's come to play the English game finally. He's cost us a whopping 21 million. And Riley Proctor, as you did see, going on a huge loan because he's one for the future. As I'm very excited for this. Deadline day is amongst us. What can we do to try and regain, well not regain, but retain our status as a Premier League club? I think the best thing will be starting with another striker, Kasper Kolziak. He's our final free signing. I think I've got 3. If I've gone over the rules, I apologise, but I'm sure that is 3. And this man, although my batteries are low, is the Lewandowski regen. So glad we got all that money in, because that is an 80 rated striker signed on a free. Lopez, Konsa, Aziz, Maldini, Rodriguez and Kunimoto all in. Dabo was now our lowest rated player we just saw there. So we're going to keep on going and see if there is anyone else. And no more signings. I tried to get one in just towards the deadline, but it didn't work out. So without further ado, Crawley Town now in 11th. Let's see where they are come halfway through the Premier League first season. And halfway through the season, survival, clear survival, 15th. Big result. It's actually that big that Scott Lindsay has been offered the Arsenal job. Very flattering. But this is not about his career. It's about Crawley. Is there any signings we could make in this team? I mean, we've got an injured winger, and it seems like some gradual progression. So we'll get some more players in to reinforce as well, because I want to make sure we don't slip out at all. Everton were relegated last season, and we've stole one of their men. Salih Oksan joins Crawley Town, 21.5, so just a little bit more than Paul Lopez. Alongside a huge signing right here, and I will show you this guy in a sec. This guy's took all of our budget. He's got us a thumbs down from spending that much money, but Matteo Cancellieri, Cancellieri, we're going to call him. An Italian winger, looks brilliant, just going into his prime, and he was signed from Marseille to join the Premier League. Just 2 absolutely phenomenal signings. Our squad is massive. We should have plenty of money next season once we get rid of some of these. Dozzle will unfortunately come out, making way for this mega team. 1 season into the Premier League with that is phenomenal, but how will it do? And come the end, the thumbs are down, but is the team still up? Look at the rating on some of his players. Koljuak, 84, brilliant progression, not from Maldini, as 13th in the Prem. Beautiful. We were 9 points clear of Crystal Palace, with Wolves and Aston Villa, the Birmingham sides, going down. Spurs have won the Premier League as well. FA Cup, won by Spurs. They are the team to beat. Don't know where we finished. Carabao Cup, won by the rivals Arsenal. I can't wait for next season, actually. I can't wait to see these ratings. Look at Cancellieri. He's been brilliant. Konsa the captain now, and Koljuak, we're going to call him. As stats are what we need to go to. 17 goals for our 18-year-old Polish Lewandowski regen, with Cancellieri in second with 7, Brooks as well, and Carozzo doing brilliant. But the new signings keeping us in the Premier League. So money is what we check all the time going into a new season. 46 million. I guess we don't have Herbert to sell this season, so that is fair enough. And I've just got to say, now we've got 45 million, because I had to resim that last season, the end of it. 3, 4, maybe, no. I think it was 6 times, never mind 3 or 4. Because WAGMI just kept sacking me. We're here again. Nothing much has changed. Maybe a couple of ratings, but I apologise, guys. I've had to make some bloody different roads to get to here. Seems like we are where we want to be, and we have got money, and we've got all these players sat here. Some that I definitely want to get rid of. Our squad is way too big. And we're getting rid of players here. Lewis Freestone is out to Strumgrass, giving space and money towards, oh, not Jamie Cumming, who does leave to go to Brighton, our rivals. It's going into James Garner coming across from Everton. Yes, that is 2 Everton CDMs, but they still have ones better than them. Shows how difficult it'll be. I mean, our team's looking okay-ish. We got rid of Morgan Feeney as well. I said Morgan Freeman a second ago, as we're just denying players now. We're looking for money to sign one. And here we go with the double signing. Peter Galashki's come back to England after his little stint at Hull. And another midfielder to join our 2 brilliant CDMs in Andre Frank Zamboanguissa. I love this man. I used to use him all the time in Ultimate Team, and here he is in career mode. It's Harsh and Andre Dozzle who steps out altogether, but the reason I signed Zamboanguissa was because I'm thinking about messing with this squad a lot. Maybe getting Erksana playing at the back, or maybe Anguissa's actually better himself in defence. Can we... Let me swap him, please. There we go. Maybe that's a better swap, and we go a bit more to a defensive formation. Perfect. That's what I had in mind. It is Aziz now in over Daniel Maldini, who I thought would stand out. Still, we've got Cancellieri, we've got Kozlawiak to carry the attack. And how are things halfway through this season? Oh, we don't get to see because we're actually in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Brilliant news. Newcastle as well out of them. 3 teams who could play. That's a decent draw. As the Premier League, 11th. We're 3 points off Graham Potter's Chelsea, who are playing bad. Brilliant from us. I can't wait to see where this squad takes us. The reason we went straight to this point is because we only have 13 million left. And, oh, look at our striker. Kaljuak is going up. The only thing is Zamboanguissa's going down. But then Maldini is actually doing better this season, it seems. Galashki's going down. Brooks is still a decent backup. But he submitted a transfer request. Bloody hell, Albi. Come on, lads, as well. Let's beat Newcastle. Yes! Yes! Zamboanguissa and Garner, 2 new signings. They're sending us to the final. And there goes Albi on a free to Empoli. Bad news after the good. And we also lose Riley Proctor. Release clause paid by Brentford. We do have 24 million, but not enough for the player I want to sign. So, on to the Carabao final. So here we go. Into Liverpool. We have at Wembley Stadium. Please get a trophy. No. No, they went to 10 men with Raphael Varane. And a look at the team before the roundup. Oh, now I'm thinking, was this good enough to actually go toe-to-toe with Liverpool? I mean, we definitely need another winger. That is for sure. And did we get the mid-table finish? Yes, we did. 13th place. Not bad. Not good. Not great. Normal. We're never in like a relegation scrap, which is good. As a team that was, Burnley, get beaten in the final by Man City of the FA Cup. As of course we all know how the Carabao Cup went. We know we'll be saying goodbye to Albi Brooks, as the stats this time, it's got to be, yep, Kozłownik with 17 goals for the 2nd season running. Caruso is brilliant, this Ecuadorian winger. It's Ecuador. I thought it was from Colombia. Apologies on that. As Cancellieri... Never Cancellieri his contract. He is on fire. Next season, we know where we're going to go. Right back, I do like Freeman, but he's not growing as much. And left wing, and maybe a centre mid or centre back. So many positions to look at with 70 million to do it with. The board agree with a crucial defender on the high brand exposure, which we need to do. Not salary growth, and finish in a Europa League spot. Very interesting from the board. And as always, tell me to sign a certain position. We will sign the opposite, because we have our winger who's been in London with Tottenham, Manor Solomon. He's on fire off the bench usually for Fulham, but he is going to join us here. I think the real task this season, keeping hold of this man. We've rejected a bid from City. I want Europa League more than I actually want to make profit. And another usual defender. Nathan Ake is the reliable man, especially when he costs 7 million, so... bringing him to Crawley. It's a move I make almost every window. Can't really blame the team though. Oh dear, I mean, try and train him up at right back. And I just recorded an hour. And I constantly kept getting sacked as well. So, we're back again a day later, trying to make sure this team somehow keeps us in the chase for European football but doesn't get us sacked. I think it's something to do with the youth, as we sell Awura Edwards because he's very old. It's a loan to buy, and I think he'll be bought. And, yeah, on deadline day we might have to rethink a strategy. We've almost made 200 million on Kozniak, but he's gone. He wanted to go on that fee, so we've got to rebuild his team somehow. So we'll start off our business with a right back coming from Real Madrid, Nahuel Molina. And I say start off the business. Got 4 hours of this window left. And we do have to welcome in another striker, and we're best to luck, but Ferguson. I didn't like what he did to my club in the FA Cup, but still, he's the next England striker, if you know the joke in that. And he's from Brighton, which is very, well, not from Brighton, but it's very close to Crawley. 77 million. Them two are the players that we needed in to make our squad fully over 80 rated. Can we use Ferguson to replace Kozniak's 17 goals? Let's see. And this doesn't make sense. Thumbs down again from WAGMI. See how hard it is? We've got a thumbs down, right? And we're top of the Premier League by 5 points. Unbeaten in 19 games. That is without Kozniak and Zamboanguisa at the back with Ezri Konza. Don't make a quick sub. Just tell me how I'm under pressure. But what more can I do? It's going up. But, yeah, youth development we're trying on. Brand exposure we're trying on. Can't do any continental. We need to find that Europa League spot, which should find a Champions League, reach the quarterfinal. And salary growth is a little bit high. And a big game here. It's City against Crawley. Oh. And that could be us actually into second place. Still in Champions League spaces. With our only signing of this window coming in. It's going to show him walking in. But Linus Graf, he hasn't got a player face. Show it on this graphic. 37. All the money's gone. Yes, it's the wage bill up a little bit more. But he is a world-class defender at 21. That's the end of this little period in January. Because we've reached the Carabao final, actually. That's a semi-final win. We should be getting a trophy. And here it is, Southampton. So kind of a coastal derby. Crawley's quite close to the coast. Can we get a trophy? Oh, we've been beaten in the Carabao Cup final again. Southampton have done it. Oh, no. And come end of the year, did we win this league? We won it by a point. We won the Premier League with Crawley Town. By the way, we usually have like 3 seasons mid-table after survival. Survival, mid-table, winning the Premier League on 82 points, which is a low margin. It shows you that we've just got our luck this season. Never mind Europa League, Champions League football, and a Premier... Get that trophy cabinet up, because we're putting the Premier League title in it. Shows how weird our squad can be. It's got to be goals that have done this. Evan Ferguson scoring so much more than Kozniak. He's just done it for the team up close to home again, with Cancellieri getting involved a lot. Goalazo is brilliant. Don't get why he's so good. He was just a backup man. And James Garner. All in double digits. Give us that thumb. Not even a thumbs up for the start of this season. Come on. What do they expect? Don't say win the league again. No, just a Champions League space. They do want the FA Cup winning. They were a semi-final in the Champions League. Brand exposure is critical. Financial low. And youth development medium. 136 million to spend. Is that enough for 3 good North Americans? And I'm not lying. I think I've found all 3 of these players that we need. Starting off with Sergio Dest. Go for the best from Manchester City. Stealing him straight from the arms of a rival, as the next one is Cesar Montes. Mexican defender, but he's only a backup. And the last one is a guy with an in-game face. Jesus Ferreira signed from Sheffield United for 40 million. And Hugo Freeman, he goes to Liverpool. The academy player just couldn't take that next step up to the 80 rated. With our next signing as well. Actually still being an American, so we've signed 4. Brendan Aronson, I just like the look of him when scouting him, and 30 million for him, relatively okay. That makes this team a lot better. The goalkeeping position, though, is what I've got my eye on. The bench looks brilliant. We actually do need to keep a really soon, because Golashki left on the end of his contract, which went straight under my radar. And we begin with a community shield against Leicester as well, which is an interesting one. Come on, let's get winning this. Yes, we won on penalties. A trophy to the cabinet. Get it right in there. A couple of trophies now. Penalty win. despite it actually coming on a miss. Not even a save or a penalty scored ourselves. Here we go. Ooh, Milan and Valencia are slip-ups. Copenhagen the same as well. We can't go without saying. I mean, other groups, to be fair, maybe we're a little bit lucky. I would have liked being in Arsenal's position, or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we have got the best group. Oh, Man United's position. I'm not feeling overly confident, as that was all as business done as well. No more signings after our little North American tour to keep our board happy and our job secure. Still, I haven't seen a green thumbs up in a while, but we are in a Champions League spot, you can see. 4th in the league, 2 points above Spurs. But how did we do in it this year? Oh, we did very well, let's say, because we went unbeaten with Milan and Valencia in our group. That is brilliant work, lads. I don't know why I'm going there, as we have Galatasaray in the round of 16. As here is the goalkeeper that we just needed. Let's skip over to Alban Lafont, the Mr. Reliable of career mode. That is it, I think, for business. Just that one signing in goal. Everyone's under contract. And no, I don't want Lafont playing in the defence. There we go. Lopez on the bench. Let's see how we do. Moving to Galatasaray. So come on, no injuries, which is perfect. Can we get a result? Yes, we do. 3-2, however. A very close game. So let's please get this done at the Broadfield Stadium. We do it on aggregate. A 2-2 draw this time. But the moral of the story is we are through to the round of 16, which we face Manchester United 3 times in 1 week. Come on, how are we going to get on against these? They've got much more of a fatigued squad. Uksan in our team is going down in rating. Something I have noticed as we win the first leg against United. Cancellieri and Solomon. Ferguson should have made it 3-1, however, which ultimately isn't the important one. This is, with Højlund tired for them. Chotire, who's on loan at Bolton, if I'm not mistaken. Again, a 2-2 draw in the second leg, but ultimately 4-3 on aggregate. And Crawley Town are through to the quarter-final. I even forgot which stage it was. And as we skip a day, you can see we have PSG in the Champions League. Lost to Tottenham, though. Bad result. Come on, can we beat PSG? I think our team's confident or worthy enough. We've got Garner, Ferguson, and Cancellieri, our main men. Oof. But the Englishmen at Paris made it very difficult for us. Can't lie, I think our thing on this channel of reaching the Champions League final straight away is kind of over. Good curse, you could call it, being cursed. A really weird cycle unless we win 4-0, which we don't. We win the game, but it's not enough. Mbappe with a goal for them to seal it. 4-2 to PSG, and the first season in the Champions League will not be a winning one. Still, we can build for next season where it hopefully should be a final. But we do win 2 of our last 3, which should more or less do it. Can we check? Yeah, we finished 2nd even. Good thing, even though we've had 10 defeats, we're getting lucky. We won the league on 82 points. Spurs have won it on 78. Unbelievable, Jeff. Can't believe it. Forest are up here. United's down. Arsenal's down. Oh, Leeds are literally down as well. As the FA Cup we didn't do well in. Man United won it, who we actually beat in another competition. Semi-final, not bad for our first round as top scorer. Ferguson with 30 goals for the Republic of Ireland man, as 24 for Cancellieri, who's been here longer as well. Cannot underestimate him. Aronson doing well. Carrizo, man, he's got to be one of us last 3 players when we do our roundup. So, what have we got in plan for this season? I'm going to check the one player from each position, which is doable for the academy. 3 players from North America. WAGMI, stop with this, please. We've been given 168 million as well. Okay, we've got to be very wise with our North Americans. And to be fair, I think signings will be very difficult. That's why we only have probably 1. Edson Alvarez. I don't really see myself signing another. I am honestly just thinking, who else do we need to improve this? I mean, Konza's the lowest rated, but I absolutely love him. I love him. He's been a main player for us in this save. Fine. Maybe we bring another player back to South London from abroad. Mark Gehi, ex-Chelsea, comes from Milan to be that leader at the back. So him and Konza maybe, but it's probably going to be him and Grab, I think his name was. I've even forgotten the name of our own players. Do have a lot of money and an easy group. A relatively easy group anyway. Napoli are brilliant. Alkmaar and Midtjylland. No offence to them, and I'm not even going to say what I was probably thinking of saying, that they are weaker teams. Oh, I've said it. There we go. There we go, though. Manager of the month is always a really good sight to see. Second in the Premier League, or actually no, joint first with -1 on the goal difference compared to Tottenham as the FA Cup. Are we still in this? Of course we are. Round 3 is when we go in, silly boy. As we're in the semi-finals of the Carabao. Will third time be lucky for this competition? And will second time be lucky for the Champions League, which we finished second in the group? Okay, Napoli come out on top, probably beaten us twice, I reckon, as Milan are the team that we draw. Even Monza are through. And Celtic. Cheesy peeps. £82 million, but again, I don't have any player I really want to sign. And it was back-to-back Premier League Manager of the Month, as we need to go back-to-back semi-finals at least, as there's 3-1. Also a double against Tottenham in the Cups, because we have the Carabao Cup final. Please. Yes! Third time lucky. Solomon against his former club gets another trophy in Scott Lindsay and WAGMI's cabinet. And the board very angry with us because I think we went out of the FA Cup. But still, we're travelling to the San Siro with a 3-1 lead. And we win. We don't win the game, but we win on aggregate. Please don't sack me. As Napoli are the team we play next. Come on, quarterfinal. Broadfield Stadium is the first up. We should be winning this one. A draw. Board still aren't fond of us, but we've got to be fond of ourselves to get over this barrier of Napoli. A weird analogy, that one. But it works. 4-3 on aggregate. Solomon at the double. That is why we didn't sign another winger with the money we had left. And Tottenham, the team that beat us in the FA Cup. Unbeaten month. But again, the board aren't happy. They will never like Scott Lindsay, even though they took a big step in hiring him in League 2. Semi-final at the new stadium in this country. Makuku up front is a really shrewd bit of business. A draw to begin with, like usual. So come on, let's get it over and done with in the second leg. They have Cody Gakpo, and there we go. We always win 2-1 in the second legs. Molina and Ferguson take Crawley Town to the Champions League final. It's not much of a surprise after winning the Premier League already and multiple other trophies. But we finally got to it. Our date with Barcelona is sealed. The board want to sack us. Sack us after this game. Get rid of all these messages. Did we win the Premier League? Let's have a check. Because I'd love to do. Oh, and you bet we do. A point less than we had last time we won it, but 6 points over Arsenal. Adds for 2 Premier League titles for Crawley Town. We haven't even got that much of a good... Well, we have got a good squad. Who am I kidding? Everton relegated again. FA Cup. Manchester City won it over Norwich City. And we know how the Carabao win. I'll check the Europa League. City actually were in the Europa League as well. And they managed to win that one. They've won that. We're winning the Champions League. An English dominance. Speaking of English, the future England striker. I'm only having a mess. Do not take offence, Republic of Ireland fans, because he scored 30 goals again as Evan Ferguson. 23 for Cancellieri. It's first and second all the time, with Brendan Aronson there with 19. And Garner with 11. Brilliant. All we need to do is make sure they turn up for a Champions League final, which I hope we win. We've got a knack for winning them first time, the finals, that is. Let's make sure it continues. Getting off the Crawley bus as well. It's funny how we're still not flown into stadiums. Still got to get off that bus. That is the trophy that we want to get our hands on, with, of course, the red and white. Don't want none of that blue on it. Get into them, lads. Pressure on. Evan Ferguson. Get this Champions League title as well as Premier League. Under pressure to begin with at Benfica Stadium. I've noticed. What a save, Lafont. Something that needed to happen, but they won a header again. Lads, we need to wake up. Even Molina, ex-Madrid, in the box. Guiri, or not Guiri? Is it good? No, I don't know who it was who made the tackle. Gehi, that's it. Just completely forgot to say his name right because I knew we were under pressure as Ferguson to relieve some pressure. Shot from range. The underside of the bar! What a chance. I guess WAGMI must be liked by the fans now as well. Now Lindsay's took them to the final after about 12 sackings we had to sim through. Davies would have been a player on the radar, being, of course, a North American. Shot is very wide right there from Molina. And a ball through here onto Rodrigo. Guiri playing a 1-2. Rodrigo, Real Madrid, this is a pressure game. Can we actually act like we want to win? Molina, that is a brilliant ball through, you know, Cancellieri across. Oh, that has to be a goal. I think it's Brendan Aronson. Unless even more pressure can be put on, but no. 0-0. Oh, lads, just get in there. Take a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, if that's allowed in football. Just chill. And let's go out again. The pressure would honestly be the end of me. A deflection. What a signing Lafont was. Action-packed final of the Champions League. That's a bad clearance, though. But it is headed into the path of Ferguson using Manor Solomon. Solomon needs to get running, please. Oh, Jefferson, Koundé. And a corner here. Barcelona's. They're 7th of the game. 9 corners in 2 3-minute halves is extraordinary. Rodrigo back defending because we have putting the pressure on them a lot. But breakthrough like that. And they're at us. I've got a feeling this is going to extra time. If we could stop it from here, it would be brilliant. Oh, Ferguson's offside. Ferguson as well with the spin out. And oh, what a ball onto Brendan Aronson. It would be fitting for an American to get it. Or maybe Cancellieri. 4 minutes to go in the Champions League final. And our Italian, who's been here from the start of the Premier League campaign, number 39 for Crawley, has done it. What a feeling. It's took a while to get to this point. Maldini, get on. Ball just through defender and goalkeeper. They have deserved to win this final, but we should be winning it now. We even managed to run at them a little bit there, but Maldini got tackled. The back heel was red. Garner, Ferguson, Ferreira hoofing it up to fellow American. Aronson putting his head where it hurts, but it shouldn't matter. Is that the whistle? It isn't, but it is a corner for us. And another goal, no. Flying in. Maldini with the volley. Saved, referee. Is it blown? Yes, it is. It took a split second to figure it out. But Crawley Town, Champions League winners, 2 Premier League titles, Carabao Cup, promotions. But that trophy in the cabinet right there is the biggest one of them all. We have done it. What we set off to do in style. And it's going to be Mark Gahey who's just turned up to lift this trophy. Probably should have been Ferguson, but there we go. The biggest one of them all. That trumps 2 Premier League titles in my eyes, even though it might not in some others. Big win, big celebrations, and now time for a roundup on what has been a very successful trophy success-wise. Successful save. If you don't know how this goes, we'll tell you right here. Our biggest win, biggest defeat, most expensive, and 3 best players. Our biggest win was against Aston Villa in December of 2031. In a simulation game, of course, as many of them do go. Our biggest defeat, however, always 4-0. 4-0 against Spurs in 2026. I think this wasn't a cup game. I remember simming it. I couldn't tell you if it was the Carabao or the FA. But it was just reaching the Prem, I'd like to say. That's what I'm thinking, as, unfortunately, I was going to put him on one of my 3 best players, but I can't because Ferguson was the most expensive. We can't make the most expensive one of the best 3 because it's already like he's getting his own card. Evan Ferguson, brilliant player. My favourite of the save, actually. He's not even been here long. He goes down. As now on to our 3... in my opinion, just not the best players, just the most memorable, the most fun to use in this save. And the first one has to be Ashley Naddison, down there in the careers. A Crawley born through and through player, a winger, converted from a striker, found ease on that wing, and just found the back of the net. Second has to be between 2, I'm thinking. I'm going to go between Cancellieri and... I've actually forgot the other one. Caruso, I think it was. But it's got to be Cancellieri. He's been here ages. And the Italian has become one of the world's best players at Crawley. Our first season in the Premier League, he was signed. And he's literally just won us the Champions League title. As finally our best or most underrated player. This probably could have been Cancellieri. Or I might go in no specific order. Because Garner probably wasn't as good. But Garner is the player I'm going to choose just over Herbert getting into this list. Because he has an in-game face. And Gardner has been brilliant. If you do want to see your team done, or any other team, comment down below on which ones I should be done. But for now, Crawley Town are Champions League winners.